Over now to Abuja, here's Gloria Umezoke. Hey, Gloria.
Well, thank you, Ijoma, and welcome to the nation's capital. The founder of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, Prophet T.B. Joshua, has been summoned by the coroner investigating the cause of the collapsed building at the church. Coroner Magistrate Oyetade Komolafe issued the summons at the resumed hearing of the inquest today at the Lagos High Court sitting in Ikeja. Prophet T.B. Joshua is to appear before the inquest on Wednesday, the 5th of November, to tell the coroner what he knows about the incident which occurred on the 12th of September, leaving about 115 people dead and several others injured. The building contractor is also expected to testify on the same day. Our judiciary correspondent, Shola Shuyele, reports.
A week after visiting the scene of the collapsed building, the coroner inquest resumed sitting at the premises of the Lagos High Court in Ikeja. Officials of the Lagos State Government, the Nigerian Police, the Nigerian Aviation Management Authority (NAMA), the Red Cross, lawyers to the Synagogue Church, and even the South African High Commission were all represented at the inquest. Two witnesses testified, Mr. Musliu Adebayo from the Lagos State Fire Service and Mr. Bamidele Oladiti from the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA. The man from the fire service told the inquest that he has 34 years' experience in rescue operations. It is his finding that the accident did not occur as a result of an explosion, especially as the bodies recovered were not dismembered or burnt, neither were the floors and pillars of the building shattered. He says the building simply collapsed. The man from LASMA, on his part, told the coroner how his men managed the human and vehicular traffic after the collapse. After their testimony, Coroner Magistrate Oyetade Komolafe issued a summons directing the senior pastor of the Synagogue Church, Prophet T.B. Joshua, to appear before him on the 5th of November to testify about the incident which occurred within his church premises. His lawyers, however, think that his presence should be dispensed with.
He had no direct knowledge of what took place there. And it is clear in the coroner's law that witnesses are those who can give material evidence.
The South African High Commissioner to Nigeria says the order to provide DNA samples for identification of the victims is underway. He also gives an assurance that South Africa will cooperate with Nigeria to ensure that there is no repeat of an incident of this nature.
It's an accident, which of course must bring us together to can then think as to how best we can work together to make sure that we do not have a recurrence of such incidences.
Outside the court premises, supporters of Prophet T.B. Joshua staged another peaceful protest. Meanwhile, the inquest is adjourned for the hearing till Tuesday, October 28. Shola Shuyele, Channels Television News.
A federal high court sitting in Abuja has refused to fully grant an application brought by the federal government seeking to conduct the trial of Senator Ali Ndume in secret. Senator Ndume is standing trial on terrorism charges for allegedly failing to inform law enforcement agencies of the activities of the outlawed Boko Haram sect. Ruling on the application, Justice Gabriel Kolawole said the application was not strong enough to be granted in full. Kolawole held that while the accused was entitled to fair hearing and trial, the state owed the responsibility of protecting the lives of prosecution witnesses during the trial. He adds that witnesses will be shielded under a special arrangement by the court, but such a witness will also not be masked. They also said that except for members of the press and parties in the suit, the public will not be allowed into the courtroom. Justice Kolawole thereafter adjourned the case to November 11 and 12 to commence trial. Eight people have been confirmed dead in the bomb explosion that rocked a motor park in Azare town of Bauchi State yesterday. Well, several of the injured are also receiving treatment at the Azare Federal Medical Center. Spokesperson for Bauchi State Police Command, Haruna Mohammed, who gave the figure, said so far no group has claimed responsibility for the attack, but investigations have commenced.
It's the aftermath of the bomb attack in Azare town of Bauchi State. The shell-shocked residents survey the scene after an improvised explosive device wreaked havoc around the motor park roundabout area on Wednesday evening. The police authorities can only confirm the casualty figure based on their findings.
The Commissioner of Police visited the scene yesterday in order to take an on-the-spot assessment and commensurate with the casualties. So far, 8 persons were confirmed dead, and about 9 others who sustained various degrees of injuries responded to treatment.
Some of those who survived the blast are lying at the Federal Medical Center Azare with varying degrees of injuries. One man who narrowly escaped being caught in the explosion tells the story of his good fortune.
Yesterday's evening, my younger brother, he was coming from Yola. So he called me that I should meet him at the park. So I went there to pick him. So immediately when I picked him, so before reaching home, I heard a sound, BAM! I was surprised. I now say, maybe this should be bomb blast. Around 9:30 to 10. So I just said, maybe it's a trailer tire that just burst out. It was this morning when I woke up. When I woke up, now somebody was telling me that there's a bomb blast in Azare.
A government delegation led by the Bauchi State Deputy Governor visits the wounded in hospital to assess their condition. Meanwhile, it appears no person or group is owning up to being behind the attack.
So far, no suspect was arrested, but investigation had commenced. For now, there is no any clue as to the perpetrators of the act.
As life gradually returns to normal in Azare, for the residents, it may be with a measure of apprehension as to whether or not they should expect more of such attacks in future.
The effects of insecurity in the northern part of the country, caused mainly by the activities of terrorists, have again dominated discussions at an interfaith meeting in Kaduna, northwest Nigeria, where some of the speakers at the forum blamed the situation on politicians and religious leaders who placed their selfish interest above that of the people. Also speaking at the event, wife of Nigeria's Vice President, Mrs. Amina Sambo, expressed sadness on how ethnic and religious conflicts have taken the North backward, despite its huge economic and human potential.
For many years, Kaduna State and many parts of northern Nigeria have witnessed various forms of violence, from religious to inter-ethnic clashes, leaving thousands of people killed and many rendered homeless. In the face of these challenges, a non-governmental organization, Global Peace Foundation, organized a summit in Kaduna with a view to preferring solutions to the problem. The summit brought together Muslim and Christian leaders as well as government officials who believe the situation has caused the socio-economic stagnation of Kaduna and some other states in northern Nigeria.
It is very sad to know.
Wife of Nigeria's Vice President, Mrs. Amina Sambo, condemned the killings and urged all to work together to prevent further violence, especially as the 2015 general elections approach.
The threat to peace is a man-made problem. It is also within the power of man to work towards building and sustaining peace in our society. That is why I'm so glad to see this August gathering here today and critical stakeholders who are working together to restore peace and lasting peace in the state and the nation.
On his part, the Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Nuhu Bajoga, urged the summits to come with strategies to ensure restoration of peace and harmonious coexistence among the people.
We must get back to those times when our tribes and religions were the instruments of unity and peaceful coexistence and not the source of discord and strife.
Guest speaker at the occasion and the Anglican Archbishop of Kaduna State, Most Reverend Idowu Ferran stressed that every religion believes in one God. Therefore, there is no need to fight each other.
All people are as equal as the teeth of the comb. And that is how God sees us in this country, in the world.
Other Muslim faithful stressed the need for peace in the family.
The human family in here today should carry on the banner of peace in Kaduna State and beyond.
At the end of the summit, the participants resolved to take all they've learned to their family and friends back home to ensure the actualization and sustainability of the commitments made.
But still ahead on the news at 10, interbank lending rates remain unchanged for the 4th consecutive week. And that's in business news. Let's join us again.